I would say make sure you get involved with the community, with your local community, because there's always things going on, whether it's at the church or whether it's sewing classes or yoga classes or pantomime. Just do anything. And if they're anything like our village, they'll make sure that there's a place for you doing something, making some contribution, you know, because nobody's going to come knocking on your door. That's for certain. You've got to go and put yourself out there.
I would say simply, whatever you decide to do, whether it's to move to a rural or whatever area, that you do it before things get difficult. That would be my only advice, really.
Well, be open about it.
Yeah. Hope that you get on with everybody and
yes,
they'd understand.
So that you know,
help.
Most villages are, you know, pretty tight-knit societies, and so it is best to make certain that everybody knows, because Anne does say the wrong things, like, you know, when you're going to lose that stomach and that sort of thing. You know, she has lost inhibition.
To our local doctor.
No, not to our local doctor. So at the beginning, it was a lack of inhibition. But if people know that, then they think it's funny. If they don't know that, they think it's rude. So I would think, you know, if you have any inclination that's going to happen, then make certain you talk to people openly. And you will find, well, we found here, people are sympathetic and helpful.
Try and find some way of structuring your week so that you've got a rhythm. We've both been self-employed, so we've had very unstructured lives, because you go from job to job to job. And so it's not like just doing a 9 to 5 every day. And so what's been great was definitely finding the voluntary jobs, because by and large people are delighted to have helpers. You know, do something you really enjoy. You know, we've forged a sort of nice little new group of friends who are very supportive. And so sort of being involved, you know, get involved with local activities. You know, the other day, we went to a WI meeting in the village hall. Not something I thought I'd ever do quite yet in my life, but it was fascinating. It was a talk from the woman that runs the costume department of the English National Opera. And it was fantastic.
But so you've got to go and put yourself out, and you might be shy, but you just have to grit your teeth and go and try something. There's always going to be something in a village.
I found the first thing to do is if you just meet someone off the cuff, and I just tell them I've got dementia and ask whatever it is, and I tell them exactly what it is, and that seems to break. You know, then everyone's fine then. But if you sort of try and study your way through it, it just makes it worse.
So there's lots of stuff going on locally, and you can, I mean, we live in quite a remote place, but if you actually look at every village has got a little village notice board, and they've got village pamphlets, little sort of what's on monthly newsletters and things. It's make contacts however you can, and you know, rather than meeting people in the street, because you don't, you meet people by sort of going out and sort of going to the odd bring and buy sale or whatever.